So let us talk about what happened last session. In the previous episode of our Tyranny of Dragons campaign, you have found refuge in a small shrine, an underground shrine, after fleeing from a host of Flaming Fist officers who have seemed to be bribed by this evil dwarf Grimmalk, who is after you for some time now. So you have hidden in this underground temple where Leosine once visited, and there is an old half-elf monk named Olpar, who is the caretaker of the garden there, an underground garden. And like after catching your breath, Renil Milan, who was a prisoner back in Greenest, and you've basically released her. She appeared with several draw warriors and started interrogating you. She was sure you are somehow aligned with either the dragon cult or any other, sinister force. And she brought back the limp body of Thokk, whom she found along the way. She took his crystal he used to contact Lenithong, and there was like this short, tense discussion. But eventually you got back the crystal, and she told you that she is hoping to lead an expedition to the Mere of Dead Men, where more cultists should be residing, and she thinks that the dragon eggs that she was sent to find, which she did, originates from that place. There's probably some ruin there controlled by dragon cultists, and she wants to help you or hire you to and to travel there. You wanted to pay a visit to Kiraj, and therefore you parted way with Renil, and you gave the crystal to Orlpar as a way to kind of guarantee that you will be back, if I remember correctly. And then you left to find Kiraj. You found him, but you also found Exar, the High Priest of El Tural, who is here to arrest you for your involvement with demons and for the theft of the artifacts from the temple vaults. So kind of between the hammer and the hard place, you delved deep with Exar to the undercellar, where he told you the dragon cult have a hideout. So and Thokk was already familiar with that place, but you didn't know how to get there. So Kiraj brought you there, and then you found a half dragon interrogating someone, probably a Harper agent, the Harper agent you were aware of, and you also found several other dragon cultists there. And if you look at the map, then you'll know what I'm talking about. The map in Roll20. So the big dragon-like token is basically a representation of the dragon statue that is there. The other tokens are of the dragon cultists. We have like 5 of those. This is the Harper agent, and this is the half dragon who is interrogating him, and you all appear on the staircase. And this is the map is not for like calculating squares or something like that, just a representation of what's going on, so you don't need to put your tokens there. And you are dressed as Flaming Fist officers, as Ben just mentioned. So my question to you is, what do you do?
Oh, I believe we ended last time having just basically kicked in the door. Am I correct?
Yes.
So I'm going to assume my most officious tone, and I'm going to say at the top of my lungs, "What's the meaning of this? We had a deal. You were going to leave the citizens alone."
The half dragon turns to you and says, "You can tell Grimmalk that we'll interrogate our prisoners the way we want. This is a Harper agent," and then he kicks him to the ground.
You made the mistake of snatching someone known. People are asking for him.
Well, wasn't your job to deal with whoever is asking about them? And who is asking about them?
Nobles are inquiring about this man.
Could I ask a quick question?
Yep.
Is the prisoner conscious or unconscious, and are they tied or manacled or anything in some way?
So he's simply tied with, his wrists are tied with simple rope, and he is conscious, and his eyes are kind of darting left to right, and obviously when he looks at you, fear shows on his face. Obviously he's mistaking you as well to be Flaming Fist officers.
Could Roscoe take advantage of the distraction posed by this conversation to try and sneak to where the prisoner is, sort of hide in the shadows of the altar or something, and try and cut his bonds?
So you might be able to pull this off, but you'll need like an insanely high roll, because like people are watching. It is a dark place, not very well lit, so a very high roll might get you there, unless you have any other like trick.
Well, I do have a feature.
Okay.
Which it means like once I'm hidden, I can move up to 10 feet in the open.
Oh.
So I guess I would try and hide quickly in the shadows, like maybe like in the room, but like somewhere that's not clear, and then take advantage of that.
The problem is we're basically right inside the door.
Yeah, that's fine, but he can probably kind of sneak behind you guys, unknown, and then he can travel through the room undetected using his stealthy feature. So
I mean, we'll see. We'll see how I roll.
Yeah. So
I'm going to continue my bluff and stride forward and grab the Harper by the. Are his arms bound behind him, or?
So what? Sorry.
The Harper agent, is he bound hand and foot, or just
No,
arms tied behind him, or
just arms tied behind him, and he's currently prone after the half dragon kicked him.
Okay, I'm gonna stride forward and grab him by his bound arms and haul him up off the ground and start dragging him toward the door.
And where do you think you're taking him?
To the magistrate that asked for him.
The magistrate, you will tell them everything. He's seen what we're doing here, and he knows of our plans. He managed to track Rezmir as she passed through the city. Roscoe, make your roll, and yeah.
That's not my problem.
Can I make a commotion if Roscoe is trying to sneak around? Can I make a commotion, like at least like sneeze, at least to get some attention?
So yes, you and probably Damien as well. Devlin can also make some noise to help Roscoe with his sneaking around. Let me just see if someone.
Yeah, like basically, I'm trying to like that person in a random area that sneezes very loudly.
Yep.
I'm trying to be obnoxious as I can be. So.
Okay. So let me just see. Okay, great. Roscoe, you start to edge along the side of the room, and then when you think that everyone are staring at the half-orc and the half-dragon, with your friends making noise in the back, you manage to sneak, and you find yourself to the back of the altar, like here, and you don't think someone saw you walking there. The half-dragon also steps forward, grabs the agent, and kind of hold him in place. And then he draws what appears to be a very like out of its back, like a great sword. And then he says, "We better get rid of him here and now. Dead men can't talk."
Do you really want the fist against you?
Sorry, you broke out at the end of the sentence.
You say, I was sent to get this man by my superiors. Do you really want our agreement to terminate?
And he says, looking confused, "We paid you to ignore what your superiors tell you." And what about
you
those?
want-
I want to cut the bonds on the guy. If I
Okay.
can.
And then he says, "And what about those adventurers coming from El Terrell? A dwarf told me you are about to capture them eventually. They were harassing and tracking our operations for some times now. I don't see them here."
I know nothing about that. If you want us to fetch them for us, or for you, make the request and make the payment. You know how this works. Adventurers are one thing. When you grab citizens, that causes problems for us.
He looks at you. I need you to make a what is it? A persuasion or deception check. Deception check will be better. And then he says,
Deception, not intimidation.
whatever you want. I mean, if you're trying to intimidate, go for intimidation. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, great. He says, "I can make the request, but I cannot allow you to leave with this prisoner alive." And then he kind of tightens his grip on the sword. "The damage that he will do to our organization is far beyond whatever we can pay right now. This is simply impossible."
That's not my problem.
Paul, I'm getting a lot of background noise from you.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting you right now.
Okay. Also, while this is happening, would it have been possible for Roscoe to cut the ropes binding the guy's hands?
Yep.
Okay. Could I also do my silent speech thing?
Yes.
And I'm just going to just whisper into the Harper agent's head. Run.
Okay. So Thokk, as you and the dragon and the half dragon are talking, suddenly the Harper agent, he kind of drops and then he takes off toward the stairs. The half dragon, surprised, shouts at you, Paul, and obviously at Devlin, "Stop him!" What do you do? And Paul, you're muted, so.
Can I pretend to catch him and I trip over? I will trip over and just become like a. I'm just gonna pretend that I'm gonna catch him, but not to the point that I look like I'm actually doing it on purpose.
So I need you to make some sort of a. It could be a deception check. Yeah, a deception check should do it.
Deception.
Like you're trying to fumble without appearing to be fumbling on purpose.
Okay, so deception.
Okay, so you kind of grab his collar, and then the Harper agent kind of understand what's going on, so he kind of removes a part of his clothes. So you kind of hold his scarf or something like that, and then he flees toward the darkness, and the half-dragon shouts, "Imbeciles, everyone, after him! We can't!"
Can I yell out? He casted a spell on me. I can't move.
Yeah, that's actually cool. Why not? So all the cultists, I mean, all 5 of them are moving towards the door. Thokk, Roscoe, Tal, you want to do anything?
I guess Roscoe is. Could you describe what's in the room a little bit more? Like,
Yes.
what's the layout of the room?
Yeah, so there is a large platform in the middle of the room. On top of it, there is a huge statue of a 5-headed dragon. It's black. The whole statue is black. You can see a door just in front of you, leading somewhere deeper into the complex. As I said, this is part of the undercellar. It's like a sprawling network of warehouses and chambers that is dug beneath Baldur Gate and rumored to be sprawled beneath the entire city. So it's not like a small place. There's another cave opening to the right of you. Here. You don't know where it leads. And there are some like urns with burning coals that support, that bring some light into the room. But other than that, empty. The cultists are simple. They simply look like humans wearing like robes and calls to hide their identities. But the half dragon looks like a very military person, and it reminds you of the dragon cult army that besieged Greenest. So he seems like a general or maybe a commander or something like that.
Okay, a couple more detailed questions.
Yep.
Where are the urns with the burning coals situated in the room?
Um,
And also,
yeah.
in terms of this dragon statue, what are its sort of dimensions?
Okay, so the urns are like I think maybe are 8 of them, kind of along the edges of the walls of the room, and also around the altar itself. So maybe 4, like 1 in each corner. And the statue is huge. It's kind of reaching out to the top of the chamber ceiling, like I don't know, 10 feet up. So it's a big statue.
Because Roscoe has this thing with if I hit an enemy with flurry of blows, they have to make a strength saving throw, or otherwise be sort of like pushed back 15 feet. So I'm kind of wondering if that would also apply to like knocking a statue over, like onto a person.
Ooh.
For example, like onto the general or whatever he is.
So that's possible that you might be able to kind of tip it and maybe try to drop it. You can definitely try, but the statue is big, so you might again need maybe a high damage roll or something like that.
Okay, I'm gonna mutter loudly, "I'm surrounded by incompetence," and start walking towards the door. But what I'm watching the cultists, and when the largest group of them kind of get clustered together as they get close to go through the door, I'm gonna drop a shatter on them.
Okay, great. Very well. So I need you to all. So not yet, not initiative rolls yet. No problem. So Roscoe, you want to start?
Yeah, I want to do that. I want to sneak up onto that platform, and I want to try and sort of, I guess, punch the statue, and it's just, spend a key on the flurry of blows and try and sort of strike it in such a way, at such an angle, that it tips over and falls on, I guess, on one of the cultists and on this the leader.
Okay, great. So let's say 4 of the cultists manage to get to the door. They kind of rush, drawing tiny knives, like ritual knives, and they try to push through the door. In the meantime, the half-dragon doesn't seem to follow them. He looks like thoughtful. And so, Roscoe, you manage to punch the statue in his direction. Thokk, I will ask you for your spell DC like in a minute. So let's see what Roscoe is doing. channeling your key point energy, and then
Okay, so I guess I'm making, I guess 3 kind of unarmed strikes against the statue.
Yep. You
That's
can make it with an
not
advantage. No, you can
Oh,
make it with that because it simply stands there. You don't have to, but you do want it to connect like.
Okay, so the first one would be 18 to
Okay.
hit
Yep.
for 7 damage.
Wait, let me write it down.
Then-
7. Yep.
Next one would be a 19 to hit
Yep.
for 5 damage.
Okay.
And then the last one is 14 to hit
Okay.
for 5 damage.
Okay, so 17 damage overall. Okay, so you kind of channel your inner energy and hit 3 times, and those punches sound to you all like 3 gongs. The statue kind of resonates and starts to vibrate from the force of the punches. And what ability is it that makes it? Oh, you can push it up.
I linked
15.
it in the chat.
Yeah, I see.
So I want to actually would have to make in this case 2 different strength saving throws.
Okay.
DC 12.
Yeah. Okay, so failed both of them. So the statue kind of vibrates, and you can also hear the metal kind of pushing air along all kinds of strange angles in this chamber. The half dragon kind of looks at the statue in shock. It seems like the statue has come alive with the heads kind of moving around, and then the statue simply topples. I will give the half dragon a dexterity saving throw. Okay, let's see if he botched it. Okay, so the statue simply falls down and drops on the half dragon. Roscoe, please roll 4d10 for me. This will be the damage you cause him. And Thokk, this is...
Wow,
wow,
nice.
amazing.
29.
Yes, 29, that's amazing. So, the statue falls down and traps the half-dragon, who shouts and screams in pain, and you can see blood oozing from many places in his body, and one of his arms is kind of twisted, maybe broken. So definitely a very good blow. DC 13. So great Thokk. When this happens, something explodes in the middle of the corridor. Now, Thokk, is it something that will hit Devlin and Paul as well?
No, it's radius. It's a 10-foot radius sphere.
Okay, so
And I drop it so that it
Yep,
stays inside the doorway.
right, great. So I will make 4 different saving throws for these cultists. So one, let me just write it down. 1 failed out of 2, and then we have another failure and another failure. So 1 success and 3 failures. I assume.
So 5 damage on the success and 10 damage on the failures.
I think. Let me just check. Okay, so 3 of the cultists are kind of thrown back just when the statue falls. So they kind of hit, and they kind of hit it, and taking the full force of the thunder damage. They simply lie down in a broken hip. So 3 of them are gone. You only have 1 cultist who seemed to be severely wounded. Let's say that he moves this way, and let me see. Okay, so he looks at all of you, and he tries to rush past you, Paul, to flee the chamber. If you want, you can make an attack of opportunity against it. See if you can drop it.
I would love to.
Yep, so please do. Simple melee attack. Oh my god, that's a 27?
I crit on 19.
Oh my god.
And that's a natural 20.
Amazing. So
It's a max damage. Oh my god.
so as he tries to rush through, you simply you did it with an axe or with a sword or what?
The chameleon is a battle axe.
So you simply
+1.
behead it as it's running, and the cut was so clean that the headless body continues to run out of the corridor until it hits a wall, and then it drops. So it's like he didn't know he was dead until it was too late.
I say oops.
Okay. Great. So, you have a trapped half-dragon beneath a big metallic statue and a lot of dead bodies around you. What do you want to do?
I suggest that we add more dead bodies.
Oh yeah, Roscoe is on that. Yeah, I want whatever part of the dragon is exposed. I'm going to be sticking my spear into it and trying to punch it, a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the throat, but I'll take an armpit, I'll take a groin, I'll take whatever.
Great. So make your attack rolls, and you can make him with an advantage because he is prone.
You cut out for a second. You mean with advantage?
Yes, he is prone. So
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So let's see. First one. 16.
a 16. Wait. No, actually, it doesn't hit. You try and you hit the dragon statue instead.
I look at the half dragon and I say, I told you to just give him to me.
All he can mutter is something along the line of, "This will not go unpunished."
I've got 2 more hits to try and get him. So 24 to hit and a 23 to hit.
So both of these are hitting, and Thokk, your spear also doesn't.
Yeah, my rapier missed.
Yeah. Okay, so this is an additional 13 points of damage. Amazing. Okay, at this point, 2 things happen. The first is that the dragon, the half dragon, tries to push the dragon statue off him, which is a very difficult thing to do, but he might just pull it off. Yeah, this guy is pretty strong. He managed to kind of and put down the statue just and slink just beneath it, and then he pulls himself up, but that is all he can do before the door, and I'm talking about the door here. I will just reveal it to you, like here. Oops. Yep. The door here opens, and a purple-robed man passes through it, and he starts to say something along the line, "Cyanrath, what is it?" And then he looks at all of you and simply starts to cast a spell. At this point, I do need your initiative rolls just to see who goes first. So you had like your surprise attack. So Thokk with a 19, Tal with a 19, Thokk, then Tal, Roscoe with a 9. Let's assume Damien kind of rushes outside and guards the exit or something like that. And now we have the half dragon. Okay. And a spellcaster. Ooh. Okay, so that was a 19 also, so I simply re-rolled. Okay, so Thokk and Tal, you both go first.
Okay. You go first, Tal.
So I'm seeing this mage of some sort casting or chanting a spell, right?
Yes.
So it's not yet casted.
Not yet. It's getting ready to.
Okay. Is is are is the mage person close enough for me to attack
So
them, or
he's basically right here on the other side of the room. So just reaching to him will probably take your like full movement and more. So you'll have to kind of spend all your turn
I've
just
got the
getting to
caster.
him. Okay.
you got the caster?
Yeah.
I'll take on the captain then.
Okay.
I'll charge in towards the. I believe you've mentioned the name.
Yeah, Cyan Wrath.
Yes, I. Okay, so meet my double battle axe.
Okay.
22.
A 22
Does that hit?
definitely hit him.
For 13 points of damage.
Yeah. So
Wait. Oh no, that's just 11 because the +2 is from the crit. Sorry, my bad.
oh, okay. So 11 points of damage. He tries to kind of dodge your blow, but he's still reeling off from the huge statue that fell over him, and one of his arms are like flailing just next to him. So he couldn't make it on time. So you are like slashing him for another grievous wound. He seems really wounded.
I spin around and bring out my other battle axe
Yep.
from my offhand. The 13 misses, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so your axe and his greatsword are kind of mid-air, and sparks fly and light up the room. Okay, Thokk.
I spend another spell point and drop silence on the caster.
Oh, amazing. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
So if his spell has a verbal component, it's not going to work.
Yep, and this is a 20-foot radius sphere. Okay, great. So, poof.
Centered on him.
Yeah, obviously. So, can you cast it? You're not casting it on the guy, right? So, if he moves, I'm just asking before because I'm not sure. If he moves, he can probably. Right? I mean, it's not moving with him. This is what I'm asking.
It's an area of effect thing, but also 20-foot radius sphere means it's 40 feet wide. So I don't know how big this room is, but it might take up the whole room.
So this is why I'm asking, because if he centered it on him, then it means that all.
No, I don't think I can target an individual. It's just an area.
Okay. So you have two options. You can basically place it like in the middle of the room, like say on the altar, and then he'll have, yeah. Okay. Okay, so it seems to me that
I'll place it so that it covers as much of the room as possible.
Right, exactly. Got it. Okay, great. So like this strange area of dead silence kind of fall all over the chamber. Even the fight, you, Paul, Tal, and Signwrath, your blows kind of ring in silence. So that's eerie. Okay, on the half dragon turn, he will simply bash you, Tal, and he hits twice with his greatsword. So the first roll was a 15 to hit.
I block it.
You block it. Okay, so another spark cloud kind of fall on the two of you. The second attack is a 21 to hit.
That hit.
That hits. Okay. So he slashes you for 11 points of damage. And he says something. You're not sure what, but you can see, and you are like familiar with the anatomy of dragons. He kind of forces out of himself another like he's drawing from a reserve of inner power to simply attack you again, and you know it as an action surge, but like what you see is like he's gritting his teeth and tries again. So 2 attacks again. One of them is a 22 to hit, and the other is a 24 to hit.
Well, both hit.
Both hit, right.
Ooh,
So the first hit is 10 points of damage,
okay.
and the second hit is 11 points of damage. Sorry, no, it's a 5 plus 4. It's 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay.
I will start reacting by screaming in pain, but it looks like I'm just shouting angrily at him because we can't hear
Yeah.
what I'm really saying.
Okay.
7.
So the wizard is kind of trying to cast a spell, realizes that he's the target of a silence spell, and spends his turn trying to find a place. Like he kind of moves around and tries to find a place where his silence spell doesn't, where this silence spell doesn't take effect. So eventually he finds a spot, but it takes him his whole turn to do it. Okay. So we are back to Roscoe.
Oh, I don't like this dragon guy at all. I'm going to try and take him out.
Okay. Go for it.
24 to hit with the spear.
24 to hit.
For 12 damage.
So 12 damage. Let me just check. So your spear kind of goes through one side of him and exits through the other side, and Sirenwrath is down to his knees. He's looking at you, and his glance doesn't leave your eyes until his eyes kind of glaze out, and then he falls down. So great. Thokk, we're back to you unless...
Oh, no, we're not done.
Oh,
Oh, no.
oh no.
So, I'm going to run up to where the wizard is,
Okay.
and I'm going to flurry of blows the wizard
Okay.
with my bonus action.
Yes.
So let's see. First strike against the wizard, 16.
Yes, and you feel like you have to kind of punch through an invisible barrier that surrounds him and protects him, but your hit does connect.
Okay, if I don't see the barrier, it's not there. So 6 damage on
Yes.
that one.
Hit.
And he's got to make a let's see. I'd like him to make a dex saving throw, DC of 12.
Okay. He rolled 16, and he has some pluses, so he passed that.
Okay, so that didn't work. I'll try one more time
Yep.
to knock him down. Nope.
Yeah. So this time the invisible force does keep you from hitting him, and he kind of looks around and then he spots you. Okay. Anything else you can do on your turn?
Nope.
Okay.
I guess I can say something to him, but
Yeah. The you are not in the area of the silence spell. So unless you say something, Thokk, it's your turn.
I don't know. Roscoe doesn't have any ideas of what to say. He usually just introduces himself to people, but it doesn't seem to be like the appropriate thing to do right now.
Okay.
How far am I away from the caster?
So you can probably reach him. You can probably reach him just simply walking to him. Yeah, so you can spend your move and get
Okay.
him. This is what I'm trying to say.
So I can get there in movement and still have an action?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will attack him with my rapier.
Okay. 21 does hit.
For 6 damage.
Okay. So an open, you slash him. He shrieks. Anything else?
I just smile at him and say, yield or die.
Okay. He looks at you and smiles and shrieks, "Never! You underestimate the power of the dragon cult!" The half dragon is dead, so it is his turn. He is... Okay. Let me see. Sorry, I have to flip some pages. So, here it is. He is twisting a ring that is found on his pinky, and then he points like just in the middle between you, Roscoe, Thokk, and Tal, who is behind you all. So he's targeting like the center of the room. Thokk, you like anticipate what's going on. You can tell your friends, you can shout them to duck as this wizard casts a fireball in the middle of the room. I need you all to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh no!
Yes. Okay. So Roscoe, you obviously fail it, but Thokk and Paul manage to duck most of the damage, and this roaring explosion that is. So the explosion itself is muted because of the silence spell, but as the flames kind of burst out of it, it's like a very weird sound of an explosion, a muted explosion. So let me just roll some dice, and then I can tell you how much damage you each took. So. Oh, wait, sorry. That's a D6, not a D8. That was a bad mistake. Okay.
Good thing we're all resistant to fire. Am I right?
Yeah. Okay. So, this is 8, 9, 11, 17, 23, 29, and a total of 32 points for Roscoe. You guys take only half of that, which is an 18. So Thokk and Thokk and Tal. This is an 18 points of damage for each of you, but Roscoe get the full burn of it. 32.
Roscoe is down, but also half of 32 is 16.
Oh, 16? Sorry. Oh my god. I call myself a math major.
Tal is down.
Okay, so concentration is... the DC is the damage I took, right?
I think you are correct.
It's half the damage you took, or 10, whichever is higher.
Concentration, taking damage. Whenever you take, you must make a Constitution saving throw to maintain your concentration. The DC equals 10 or half the damage you take, whichever the number is higher.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so the
Silence
is gone. Yes. The wizard is kind of smiling. He's smiling, and Thokk, you get this strange vision of a burning room, flames everywhere. Your friends are on the floor. Their clothes are smoking. and the dragon statue is kind of red hot from all the flames. And it is Roscoe's turn, who has to make a death saving throw.
Yes.
So, first success. Very good. Thokk, you're up. What do you want to do? And the wizard looks at you and says, "Stop this nonsense. You are merely an apprentice. There's no chance for you to stand in a mage duel against a wizard like myself."
Okay, I'm going to, as a bonus action. Are y'all both down?
Yes.
Yeah. It wasn't the fireball that got me. It was the half dragonborn that got my HP so low.
Yeah.
Let's see. Roscoe's right next to me and Tal's behind me a ways, right?
Yes, let's say.
Okay, so as a bonus action, I'm going to throw a healing word at Roscoe.
Okay. So you need to roll any dice or something like that?
Yeah, I'm doing it now, and I'm going to throw it. I'm going to use my last second level spell slot on it. So that's 6 hit points.
I think with a second level spell, you can also roll oh, so it's 9. Is it 9 altogether?
So it looks like a 9 or something like that, but
Yeah, it looks like 9 altogether, yeah.
okay, great. Roscoe, you're up.
And then for my action, I'm going to stab him again.
Okay.
17 hit.
17 hit. An 8 point of damage. Okay, so another blow, and the mage shouts and says, "Stop it. You're making a fool of yourself. This will not end well for you and your friends." Okay, so we are back to Tal, who has to make a death saving throw.
It's okay. We're good. That's the last bad roll I'll have.
Okay, so kind of blood oozes from your wounds, and okay, so the wizard looks at you and at Roscoe, who is struggling to get up, and then he twists his ring again and says, "Yield, and I will spare your lives. I have a lot more from where that last spell came from." What do you do? I'm not.
I think Roscoe's kind of dazed at this point. He doesn't react.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so if you are not reacting, Thokk, do you say something?
Has he held his turn or what?
So he's kind of no, he kind of waits to see what your reaction is. But he's ready. If he'll do something fun, he'll probably attack again.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, but I'm sure he will anyway. So I mean, is it back around to my turn again, I guess is what I'm asking?
No, you can talk like a free action, but depending on what you'll say, he'll decide what to do. So it's his turn. It's like all happening really fast, you know, not. So, what do you say anything, or you simply like keep it a poker face?
I keep a poker face next to him so that if he includes me in his spell, he's going to get himself too.
Okay, got it. Okay, so in this case, he flicks his wrist, and a force is trying to hold you, Thokk. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay. So with a 15, you start to levitate up and up and up and up, and you find yourself kind of back against the ceiling where the dragon statue used to be, and you find yourself hovering above the ground. When this happens, the wizard backs away from you, Roscoe, and retreats toward the door here.
Can I stab him?
So you're not right next to him, right? Or actually you do.
I was, because I hit him. I don't know if anything changed.
So you know what? In this case, no, he's not gonna expose himself to damage. He then looks at you, and obviously it's your turn. Right after, yeah. So he looks at you and says, "Stop this nonsense. Your friends are gonna die." What do? It's your turn.
I try and grab the ring off his finger.
Oh, okay, cool. Make a sleight of hand check, or yeah, I think it's a.
Shake the whole finger.
All right, here we go. Is there anything I can do to make this check better? Probably not.
Ooh, amazing. Great. So you pop the ring from his finger, and he kind of shouts in anger. And what do you do with the ring?
Swallow it.
Swallow it.
Punch him in the face.
Yeah, lick it. Mine.
Is that? I guess it was my action to pop the ring off.
Yes.
So I cannot do flurry of blows as a bonus because I didn't attack him exactly.
Right.
So I think I'll run over to where Tal is with the ring. I'll just take it and do I want to put the ring on? Would Roscoe actually put the ring on himself?
So it looks really nice. It's like
yeah, I'll put that shit on. I'll put it on. Hell yeah.
Okay, great.
And then I'll put it on. I'll run to where Tal is, and I'll say to him, now the shoe's on the other foot. Well, the ring's on the other finger, and now it's your turn to surrender, or bad things will happen to you.
He shouts like no, and as you put the finger, something really, really strange happening. You suddenly get a sense of the surrounding that you didn't have before, and you hear footsteps from where you all came from, like from this area. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Okay. Wisdom save. 12. Not too good.
Not too good. Okay. Great.
Garage, Azil, is that you? Are you coming to help?
So after you went to it's Thokk's turn again, and I'll tell you in a minute what you see here or whatever.
Okay, so floating next to the ceiling, there's not a lot I can do, so I'm going to throw a healing word to Tal,
Okay.
which I can only do at first level because that's all I have left. So 4 hit points for Tal,
Great.
but at least no more death saves. And I look back at the wizard and say, is that the best you can do? How incompetent can you possibly be? And he needs to make a wisdom save
Wisdom
against
save.
vicious mockery.
Oh, got it. He rolled a 12. Probably not enough.
I'm sorry?
12.
Nope, 13.
Okay. So what
So
happened?
he takes 3 psychic damage, and his next attack is at disadvantage.
Amazing. Okay. So, what happens right now is this. Obviously, it's his turn, but this is the order of things that happened. You, Roscoe, is aware that the ring you are holding is a ring of fire resistance. Okay, but it had another property on top of it. It could make your hearing a lot more acute. That can actually help you in listening and hearing things that are far away, etc. But it also have like this downside in which every normal voice or above is like very, very strong to you to the point of a headache. So when kind of Thokk says what he said to the wizard, like your head starts to explode. So you get an advantage on perception check, but basically a disadvantage on any other skill check while you activate this ability. Okay. And in addition, you have resistance to fire damage, as long as you're wearing the ring. Now, so
so it's like it kind of looked like he cast a fireball out of the ring, but he really didn't.
yeah. So you can hear the following voice at the door. What is the meaning of this? Demon worshippers! And then he, as you all look, you can see XR enters the room with his soldiers, and all he sees is the half-orc kind of levitating up with flames everywhere. And he points at you, Thokk, and he kind of whispers, "Demon worshipper, look, the mark is on him, he's flying." And then he says, "Kill them all, in the name of our god." At this point, the wizard looks really confused. And between Roscoe and Thokk, he decides to drop his next spell on XR and his friends, which is, of course, another fireball. Let me think. So, except Thokk, I need the rest of you again to make dexterity saving throws.
Actually, just roll the damage, because even at half damage, they've all got less than 10 hit points.
Yeah, but damage is like my dice might go strange, so.
Or we might just die outright in Roscoe's case.
Exactly. Okay, so.
Well, no, you're on your feet again, so it's not an automatic two failed
Yeah, exactly.
save or two failed death saves.
Yeah, exactly.
No, right. If he just rolls really high for damage, though, he could definitely do more than my max HP plus what I have.
So that's a. Okay, so. 9, 15, 17.
Question: if he's at a disadvantage, does that mean they have advantage on the saves?
No, it's an attack. The disadvantage on attack rolls. This is an area effect. So this time it's only 23 points of damage for whoever took the full blow, and that means probably 11 damage for all the rest, right? But what happens is that Xar and his men also are affected. So Xar and his men. Let's see. So Xar is with 3 soldiers. 2 of them get annihilated right off the bat. One of them is severely burnt, and Xar itself looks as if he also took some damage. How are you doing?
I'm down.
Okay, so Roscoe is down again. Tal, you took only 11 points of damage.
I had 4 HP.
Okay, so you're down as well. Okay. So Tal is down and Roscoe is down again. Thokk, you are still... we have Xar and we have another soldier. So this was the wizard, and after he casts the spell, he simply tries to vanish through those doors. So you kind of lose sight of him as he retreats deeper into the complex. And we get to Roscoe's turn. So
Does that mean I drop like a rock?
so his spell is a concentration spell. I just checked it. Where did I put it? Oh, so it's a concentration check, 10 minutes, something like that.
Well, yeah, but it's also got a range component to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're correct. Levitate. Here. 60 feet. So even if he moves his entire movement, he's still in range.
So another round or two before I drop like a rock.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, Roscoe. Your death save. Ooh, 20. You spring up.
It's not a natural 20.
Oh,
Actually, I don't know why it's giving me +1 to it. It's strange.
yeah, you need to simply roll d20. But
Yeah, maybe it's. You know what it is?
Hmm?
I think it's that luck stone that I have that gives me a +1.
Okay.
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
roll 20 just adds it automatically because I have it in my inventory.
Okay, but a
So
19.
that's nice, actually. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so it's a success anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back to Thokk. Xar says, "Slay the demon worshipper. We deal with the wizard later."
Okay, so another healing word for Tal.
Okay. Okay, great.
That's a lot for healing word. Let me see.
Yes.
I'll take it.
Oh, 1d4 plus my modifier. Okay, so yeah, that's just a good roll. Okay, and then vicious mockery for the priest.
Yes.
I just shouted at him, "You delusional megalomaniac! You wouldn't know a demon if one bit you."
Okay, I need to make a very botched saving throw. So 4 psychic damage and then disadvantage on attack, right?
And disadvantage on his next attack.
Great. Okay. I didn't roll initiative for him, so that's a 13. Okay. Tal, you're up. Like,
Okay.
pun intended.
So I'm just gonna make sure I'm not gonna go down again after another fireball. So I'll use my bonus action to heal myself.
Okay.
Second win. Oh,
Okay.
5 points. Someone.
Okay, so you buff yourself up and then
So how many soldiers is this?
only one. Xar is probably not aware, but he is the fireball. The wizard's fireball left him with only one soldier just behind him, who looks really beaten up and about to crumble.
I'll attack the almost dying person.
Okay. So
12.
12. I need to let me see. 12 does hit, actually. Yeah, it's like these are
Yeah.
like acolytes who came with their priest. So with the 12 points of damage, you simply drop the man. He crumbles just beneath the swing of your mighty axe, which puts you close to Exar himself. But the priest is kind of transfixed with the image of Thokk levitating. He believes this guy is demon possessed, so everything connects.
I channel my rage and I use action surge, and I'll attack him.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
it's
god.
double crit.
Oh my god. Awesome. So these are 2 attacks, or is it like
No, it's just whether or not I get advantage or disadvantage. It's
Okay.
a crit.
Great.
So 17 points of damage.
Oh, this is a mighty blow that actually makes the priest turn and consider you more closely. So that's amazing. 17 points of damage. Great. Thokk, you drop to the ground, which obviously for you and with your arcane knowledge, you understand that the wizard have fled deeper into the dungeon. Okay. So Exar looks at you, Thokk, and says, "You wicked creature, attacking me with the axe you stole from my own vault."
No.
No? It's that you're attacking with this the what you got from what's his name? The merchant?
From the vault, wasn't it? You got this from the vault, right?
So it is this the axe that you got from the vault?
I just told him no.
Oh, you just told him. Okay, no, I didn't really know. Okay. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong book, man. I keep doing it. Sorry. XR turns to you and starts whispering words. Let me just see. Okay. Okay, so he cast this spell, basically lifting up his holy symbol and then dropping it down almost to the floor, and then I think it's like 3 or 4 transseculent soldier-like or knight-like creature emerge into being to surround him, and then he says, "Protect me while I fight this demonic infestation. Guide my hand as I work to exterminate evil from the face of the earth." And then what happens is this. Okay. So they kind of flit around him to a distance of 15 feet, and they look angelic in nature. Okay. So everyone around the priest, if they enter this area or like start their turn in this area will probably take some damage by these angelic beings. But this is all he does. And then we move to Roscoe.
Another death saving throw for me.
Okay. But you did have one success, right?
Okay, so 2 successes.
2 successes. Great. Thokk, you're down on the earth, on your knees. What do you do?
Okay, I throw another healing word at Tal.
Okay.
So another 6 hit points for him. And I look at the priest and I yell at him, "Wrong again, Wonder Boy. You just let evil escape, and it's all on you now." And throw him another vicious mockery.
Okay. He rolled a natural 20. So
So no damage, no effect.
okay. He answers and says, "Give back the items you stole from the vault, and then I can give you a fair trial. Until then, you're criminals, demon worshippers who are not worthy of my mercy."
Like the last trial where you took me to your private chambers for torture?
He says, "Do not question our methods. They've proved to be very effective over the last years. This is how we fight creatures like you, Half-orc."
Oh, by becoming evil and fighting creatures that don't deserve it. I understand now. You use evil to do bad things for your god.
Tal, it is your turn, but the priest answers, "Lay down your weapons, return the equipment you took, and then I might consider your words. Until then, these are the macintation of a demon speaking through your mouth."
I hear the demons speaking through your mouth. One more healing word for Tal, which is my last spell slot.
Okay.
So 7 more for him. And another vicious mockery for the priest.
Wait, it's like, how many times you can do it? You didn't just take a turn?
Vicious mockery is a cantrip. I can just keep doing it.
Okay. But
That's why it's all or nothing on the save.
got it. I think I got it. Like, but isn't it an action to do it?
Vicious mockery is an action. Healing word's a bonus action.
Okay. But you have already cast vicious No, you cast I see 2 vicious mockeries. Is it like the last turn?
Yeah, but it's a cantrip.
Okay.
So it doesn't take a spell slot.
Okay. So another save. A 5 this time. So 2 points of damage.
So 2 psychic damage this time.
And a disadvantage on the next attack. Okay. Tal, your turn.
I am fully. I am full of vigor.
Now, you're full of vigor. Okay.
I was like, oh no, there's a catch.
No, I'm just thinking. You just so you can decide if you want to be inside the priest's area of effect or not, because we are not like calculating squares and stuff. But if you will enter that area, you'll probably take some beatdown.
Well, got a lot of healing. I feel like I'm gonna waste it.
Okay, great.
Tal will be Tal. He'll cheat his way in taking down this priest. I pretend to go inside, and then I back up and I hurl a hand axe to the priest's face.
Ooh, amazing, great.
So does that hit?
Yes, of course. The axe kind of flies and sticks. You do hear the ring of metal under Exhar's robes, so he's obviously wearing armor, but definite hit. Kaboom.
So I'm not sure how throwing weapons are. Can I use my bonus action to hurl? No, because I'm holding a battle axe. Can I drop my battle axe to attack him again with another hand axe?
So what, you want to reach in for another hand axe and simply throw another one? Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, like how does it work? Like, do
Yeah,
I drop my...
no, just roll.
Okay. 16?
So a 16, this time one of the angelic creatures simply kind of slaps the axe off course, and the axe lands on the floor behind the priest.
Well, I will try to back up, and I'll go. I'll go to the opposite direction or the other side where Thokk is. That way we don't get blasted with fireballs again. I'm completely paranoid about fireballs now.
Okay, great.
Now on my turn here.
That's okay, great. So just remind me, casting spells while you have a concentration spell is okay as long as it's not another concentration spell, right?
Correct.
Okay, great. So XR will make another prayer, and he will pull out this like a warhammer that starts to glow in a radiant, yellowish orange-like radiance, and then he simply steps to you, Tal, and tries to hit you. Now, two things happen as you enter his circle of angels that kind of surround him. Two of them try to fly to you and reach out to touch you. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. So he's carrying a maul. Sorry, not like a warhammer. A maul.
Touch me? Oh no.
Yeah, so like angels kind of fly towards you. It looks like beautiful, but
Oh.
okay.
Ouch.
Right. So as they approach you, you suddenly realize these are not angels at all. They look fiendish. You can see sharp teeth and glowing eyes, and their flesh is kind of rippling. Something is very strange with this priest. You are taking... Wait, correct die. That's 2 and 2 and 4. So that's 8 points of damage from the angels, which is, strangely enough, necrotic damage. And
You said 8, right?
yeah, 8 total. And then Axar tries to hit you with his maul, and he flings it twice. So the first is a 17.
That's enough to hit me.
Okay, and the second is less than that, so only one hit. So you take, in addition to the angels or the demons, depends on how you see it, you also take another 9 points of damage from his maul, and then you're still up, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. And then he kind of lifts his hands and says, "My angels, protect me against these cultists and their evil."
Can I use a free action?
You can use a reaction, yes.
I yell out to the group, "Guys, this person is a hypocrite."
Okay. This is now Roscoe's turn. So.
Okay. Failed death save.
First fail. Okay. Thokk, we're back to you.
Sorry, I had to step away for a second. Did I miss something important?
So XR approached Tal. Tal suffered some damage from the angels, who suddenly appears more fiendish in nature, and the damage he took from them was necrotic. Then XR mauled him once for some damage. And then Roscoe failed his first death save, So he has 2 successes, 1 fail, and then it's your turn. Like you as in Thokk.
Yeah. So I think now I understand. You want me to be a demon so that you have more help in whatever your cause is. And I'll throw it. I'll do the only thing I can at this point, and I will throw another vicious mockery at him.
Okay. So another save. That's a 9, so another fail. So 1 point of damage. And
Oh, did you roll his attacks against Tal at disadvantage?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Okay, so but this time only 1. Oh, 9. Sorry. So another disadvantage. Yeah. He.
So 1 point of damage, and he said disadvantage again.
Yeah. So he's attacking twice. So these are a lot of dice. Wait. This is now Tal's turn. Tal? Probably muted.
Oh, I was asking. I'm inside his dome.
Right.
We're face to face, right?
Oh,
right
yeah,
now, right?
right. So if you start your turn in his dome, you have to make another saving throw, a wisdom saving throw.
Don't fail me now. 21.
21 is great. You will only take half of. That's a 1. That's an 8. And that's another 8. So that's a 16, 17. So it's like 8 points of damage.
Okay. I'm gonna pour everything on my attack because there's no point in doing nothing here. I'm gonna get him first. Hopefully I can take him down right now.
Okay.
Does that hit?
So both of these hit. So a 21 definitely and a 23 definitely. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's the wisdom.
Yeah. Sorry, I saw. But yes, it still hits. So 10 points of damage.
And then my offhand.
A definite hit.
6
For 6.
damage. 16 all in all.
Okay, so let me just do a quick math. That was 4, 21, 3, 30, 40, 46. Okay. Got it.
And then if I run away, I'll get it.
Okay,
I'll
so
risk it. I'll move.
so you'll disengage.
I don't have any more action to disengage. I'll just take the attack of opportunity and risk it.
Okay, but he's doing it with a disadvantage, so I'll wait. Okay, an attack with a disadvantage. His highest roll was a 15.
So that misses. I back away from him with my maximum movement. I just don't want to be inside this quote unquote angelic field.
Okay, great.
And then I'm done.
Quick question.
Yeah.
This angelic field that he has, is that a concentration spell?
Yes. Yeah, I'm making concentration checks for him, but it's like,
Okay.
yeah, that's no problem.
Oh, so you're making concentration rolls for him every time he fails his save for the vicious mockery?
Yeah. Every time he takes damage, it's not
Okay.
like saving. Yeah, this guy is obviously, as you kind of assess him, you get a sense that he's a war priest, albeit an old one, but this is someone who can definitely cast spells during a fight. All kinds of abilities that allow him to get past those issues. So we are back to his turn. He looks at you, Thokk, and he says, "You will suffer the consequences of your actions. You blame me for being aligned with demons, but I can sense evil reeking through your lips." At this point, he steps forward to meet you, and since my kids are here, we'll have to do this next
Our
session.
backups are here. The reinforcements.
Yeah.
Grab
Okay.
your sheet.
Yeah,
kid.
exactly, guys. So we'll continue next session right from this.
So to be continued.
Yeah, exactly. Should be interesting.
Bye bye.
Guys, thank you very much. I'll have to close it up shop right now.
Okay.
Amido-san.
Bye,
Thanks
guys.
all. It was great.
Bye bye.
Thank you.